Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to see you all. And I know it's been a while, and maybe one day I'll actually talk about it, but that day is not today. For now, I'll just say medical issues suck, and it set back a bunch of my schedule. But we're here now. Um, if I'm quiet and it sounds like I'm whispering, it's because I am. It's the middle of the night when I'm recording this because this is about the only time I can do it. So I am finally, um, doing the High Guardian Spice redesigns that I have been promising. Now, to start this off, I would just like to say, if you have something to say about accurate time periods, just forget it because I did not take that into account. I was just like, we're going medieval-esque, but like, we're going old-fashioned-y, like we're not it's not a documentary, okay, folks? It's just not a documentary, all right? Honestly, I don't want to ramble this entire time, so I'm just gonna say about the speed paint in the background. I'm sorry, I was not editing together for speed paints. I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't got the energy for that kind of thing. I'm sorry. Um, but nonetheless, um, instead you get this, and I'm gonna post a picture of the character on screen at the end of my ramble so you can see how I don't want to say fixed, but changed the character to fit the story I'm trying to tell more. Um, so yeah, let us begin with Rosemary. If you're expecting a fancy title screen, you're not getting one. So for Rosemary, I hate her whole design. I'm sorry, I hate it. Now, do I love warrior women in dresses? Oh, I love She-Ra. Of course I do. Like, come on. Like, I love warrior women in dresses. I mean, like, come on, who doesn't? Um, but for Rosemary, as someone who loves to wear dresses, Rosemary should not be wearing that dress if she is doing anything more than walking, because that dress is so gosh darn poofy. She can't move in that. Like, if she were to try and battle in that thing, she can barely move her legs. You cannot climb trees. You could probably not run. And just it's just no. And she's a character who I have kind of seen is doesn't like when things are in her way, and she gets kind of frustrated by it, which it also makes me go, then why does she have big poofy hair? It just doesn't make any sense to me personally. So I was just like, no, the buns, the poofy hair, it just she's a warrior. That's gonna come undone and it's gonna get in her face or her sword's gonna get caught in it and boom, she's dead. Like my apologies, I'm dying. Um and you see if everything about her design screams she's going to get caught on something and she's gonna die. She's not making it on the battlefield, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. So I I did a lot of changes. So first, I got rid of the skirt. I decided to keep Rosemary pink because, let's let the main character be pink, okay? I know it's stereotypical for the pink-haired protagonist, but honestly, it's fine. It's fine. We'll let the stereotype stand. Also her color palette, the whole show, in fact, is just so bright. I like bright colors, but it hurt my eyes. So I did tone down her pinks just a little bit to be a little bit softer on the eyes. It still looks bright, but it's just not gonna hurt your eyes as much. Um, I kept her outfit kind of the same, except I made the little vest thing, which I don't understand what that was supposed to be. Was it armor or I don't know what that was. I don't some leather, was it leather, was it cloth? I don't even understand what material that was. It was just this brown overcoat. I don't know, but I ended up changing that to a pink color and into like this what do you call it, like overall kind of thing, not overalls exactly, but you know what I mean. um I gave her a white shirt underneath it, and if you see on her little overalls, she does have something stitched on it, and that was stitched by Sage because I will talk a little bit about Sage, in her section. But Rosemary, I gave her very loose clothing, and I decided to give her short hair, which is going to be a little bit of a plot point because guess what? I'm also doing a rewrite, and I may or may not have chapter one coming out eventually. Um, but yeah, that's what I decided to do for that. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the dress. It just didn't make any sense for a warrior. I just I kind of hated it. I hated everything about her design. I also gave her a little belt where she carries just stuff. She can carry like a sword or just pretty much just a couple things. And it's not a belt. It's a rope belt because she's supposed to be on the poorer side. Even though that doesn't make sense in the show because her mother is a famous guardian. Like what? It just do guardians not make money? I just don't understand. They never tell us what a guardian is. So honestly, yeah, she could be broke as heck. I don't know. They don't really tell us anything in the show. So in my rewrite, she's kind of on the poorer side, but they're still making. They still have that like it's the money you get when like a family member like dies in battle. That's what she gets for her mother, even though she doesn't technically her mother is missing in action, but you'll learn more about that in the story itself. But nonetheless, this is Rosemary. Her hair is shorter. She's very energetic. She's very bubbly, but maybe she's not as bubbly as she seems because I decided to make her kind of foil. If you know what that means, foil is a character who's basically the exact opposite of a character. So I decided to make Rosemary this person who looks super bubbly and happy, and she mostly is, but she also rejects all of her negative emotions because basically her family just they don't talk about emotions at all. Like at all. You're sad? Oh, you know what they say about bystanders? Look away. No one's gonna get that reference. um I don't know what that noise I made was. But nonetheless, yeah, so she not really good at showing emotions. Um, she probably hasn't cried since she was like 5. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. So, yeah, I also decided to change Rosemary's eyes to blue, to Lavender's blue, because her father had blue eyes, but I decided to change it to Lavender's blue instead of the father's blue because for some reason the show was like you can only look like one parent, which was just really weird because, a lot of my friends look like both of their parents. Like, I have this one friend who looks like the literal perfect mixture of both of his parents. Like, he's got his mother's gray eyes and his dad's brown hair, and it's just like, that's kind of creepy. It's not creepy, I'm joking. But anyway, now I've rambled about Rosemary long enough. Let's go on to Sage, who she is my baby. I love her. This is my child. Say hello. This is my bean. I love her. I'm sorry for all the stuff I'm going to put her through, but I love her nonetheless. Um, so Sage, I made her hair much longer and thicker because I just thought it was fitting. I also decided, also I thought I should give reference to this. Rosemary is going to be a gremlin. She's going to be she's gonna be the token gremlin character. She's short. She's shorter than me, so she's like 5. She's like 5'5". So yeah, she's short. Maybe she's gonna be shorter. I don't know. But Sage is gonna be tall. She's gonna be on the like 5'8", maybe a bit taller side. Maybe a little bit taller, just because she's like really shy and like she doesn't, you know, she's friendly, but she's not very good at initiating conversation, but she's like super tall and she towers over everyone. And even though she doesn't want to be recognized in the scene, she's like really easy to see in a crowd. I also decided to change her eyes to yellow like her father's because, like I said, with Rosemary, they decided to make her look like a lot like her mother. So I gave her yellow eyes and glasses because her colors, oh my god, the colors were so bad. I don't know. I don't like Sage's color palette. It's just garbage. Also, when I first watched the show, I thought Sage was a tan white person. I know that's really really bad. I darkened her up a bit because I didn't know she wasn't white. So yeah. Um Then I changed her outfit because God, I hate that. Whatever this, I hope I'm flashing a picture on screen. Whatever this is, no, just no. It's disgusting. And now I did go through like 4 concept drawings, and I lost them all, except like this garbage picture I took when I was halfway through one of them. I hate it. I hated most of them. And my mom was like, "Yeah, it's because they all look like different outfits smushed together." And I was like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Yeah, don't." And so my mom, she's fashion lord, I swear, because she came in, she was like, "That's what you need to fix." And I was like, "How did you?" And I fixed it, and I was like gasp. And it worked. And so now I have this picture of Sage. I decided to keep her colors kind of dull to kind of represent her character because it is supposed to be a more dull and like scared character, I guess. I don't know. I hope it came through. And then her boots. I can't do shoes. I can't draw shoes very well. You'll notice that a lot. But Sage, if you'll notice, she has stitching on her boots, which again, she did herself because I decided Sage is going to foil Rosemary in the way that she's very shy and she shows her emotions when she feels them. So if she's sad, like really sad, she'll cry. She'll openly cry. She doesn't mind because her parents raised her to be like, yeah, it's okay. If you're feeling sad, it's okay to be sad and we want to help you through it, that kind of thing. Um, and she's for the most part pretty in touch with her emotions, I guess. Um, and still she's still anxious and everything, but she knows what she's doing. Now, another thing you might notice is I I stole her arm. Sorry, Sage. I needed it for drawing purposes. I'm kidding, but no, I decided that you know um while I was drawing, I drew this pose and it looked like the character was missing an arm. And it was Sage's. And I was like, you know what? I'm keeping it. Because disability representation, and I am going to be doing my research. And it wasn't some dramatic story of how she lost it. She was born sick and without an arm. And, yeah, it's just kind of how she lives. She's not the healthiest person, but she's a very, very talented mage, and yeah. Now her old design, it's just bland. That's the only thing I can say about it. That's all. Like from her braid to that just plain witch dress. That's all I can honestly say is that it's plain. Honestly, that's all I really have to say about Sage. You'll learn about her more um in the story. I would also like to mention that on her hat is a terra sphere, and now I'm still using new and old magic, but I'm cutting out the it was an allegory part because no, it's just we're not doing that, okay? We're just not doing that. Now I decided that tarot spheres you buy them and they're actually clear, but when you buy one and you activate it, um, it turns a color or colors specifically for you. And for Sage, I decided to make it the turquoise, a very similar turquoise to what her original hair color was, um, and the pink of Rosemary to show they're very connected. Also, I'm cutting out the Sage and Rosemary possibly getting together arc because they've known each other since they were children. And honestly, if you have known each other that long, you feel like siblings. Like I have known some friends for years and years, and I'm sorry, but that I could not I physically could not be romantically interested in that person because they have grown up with me. That's my brother. That is the cat I pulled out of the garbage, okay? That's you know, because like somebody asked me once, have you ever had a crush on any of your girlfriends? And I'm like, no, I've known them since I was like 4, so no, I've known them for like years. So just no, it's we're not doing that. But don't worry. Don't worry, folks. Sage is still gonna get herself a girlfriend. Uh, but that will be revealed another time. Um, so then moving on to Parsley, who I have renamed because blacksmiths, blacksmiths would not name their child Parsley. It just doesn't make sense. Tell me. Also, everybody has said this, but all of their names are herbs, not spices. So that's BS, sweetie. Anyway, um, Parsley, I have renamed to Jasper, which is a stone or something. I don't know. I just like the name, and her nickname is Jazz because I thought that was cute. It was originally going to be Esmeralda, like Emerald, but I ended up going with Jasper when my friend, I love them, by the way, found Jasper for me. So yeah, I changed a lot of things about Parsley's design, but also not that many things about Parsley's design. So I kind of gave Parsley a kind of crooked nose because I don't know, I was drawing and I fell in love with the nose that I kind of drew on accident, and I was just like, a baby, and I loved it, so I kept it. I like the fact that in the show they gave um Parsley short hair, but everything else about the design is terrible. Parsley looks kind of pudgy instead of I think they were trying to go for muscular, which is what I went for, and I can't draw muscles. So I hope you can kind of tell that the character is supposed to be muscular despite the clothes and everything. Speaking of the clothes, I gave her actual gloves because do you see that? You see that design? I think I'm putting it up on the screen. Um, Fingerless gloves for a blacksmith who works with fire. With with fire? No, she'd basically be dead. Like her hands, goodbye. See you later. So yeah, I gave her actual gloves, long sleeves, actual pants, stuff like that to actually cover herself so that she's not constantly getting burned. But I did give her some burn marks for mysterious reasons for later in the series. Woo, ooh, mysterious. um, but yeah, for Parsley, I kind of gave her a personality because in the show she didn't really have one, but I've decided that she's a very she's just kind of a motherly person because she was kind of forced to be a motherly person by her parents and just kind of continued being that for her friends. She's no longer going to school for blacksmithing because she's already a blacksmith. Why is she going to school for more blacksmithing? I went for artificing. Is that right? I think that's right because that's like magical blacksmithing. I don't know. And it's also going to tie into the series. I kept her a dwarf because, why would I change that? I don't know. Um, I kept a lot of things about her. I gave her a bit of red on her cheeks to show that she works in the heat. And yeah, um, that's about all I'm going to reveal about Parsley because, this is already getting way too long. Um, and yeah, so I also gave her an apron because she doesn't wear an apron in the show for some reason. I don't know. She's also probably got goggles. I just didn't draw them because I wasn't thinking of it at the time. It was probably like 12 o'clock when I did this design. So yeah. Also, in the process of drawing this, I made something, and I will show you what this something is. I call it the claw. So this was the sketch. Thank God, because Lord have mercy on our souls. Anyway, here's the final Parsley design. Now, finally, going us to our last one, Time, whose name I have also changed because, not gonna lie, I just don't see wood elves naming their child Time. Also, I hate the name Time. I have changed their name. I also changed their pronouns to they, them because it just fit. Um, so yeah. Um, and I changed their name to Zalia. I think I'm saying that right. It means of the forest, which they're a wood elf, so it makes sense. Now for Time, I changed their outfit a lot. Do I absolutely adore the outfit I came up with? Not completely, but their outfit isn't going to stay the same throughout the whole series. This is just their character sheet. But I do kind of like it. It's not perfect, but I do like the direction it was headed in. So I've decided that Time is a wood elf because I don't think it's ever specified what kind of elf they are in the show, and wood elf is just kind of my go-to. Um, I changed their hair to white because I don't know, the red is just so close to their skin tone. It makes Time look sick. I kind of changed the skin tone around a bit, made them darker. Um, so yeah, cause like the red hair was really bugging me because it had volume but no curls, and it was just I didn't like the hair. Honestly, I really didn't like Time all that much. Just they were probably my least favorite character. Design and personality wise, they were kind of useless. Not gonna lie. Um, so you're probably wondering, oh, why is Dahlia wearing a mask? Well, it's because I'm still including the rot. But Zalia will have been living in the forest when the rot started, and basically I have decided that it smells really bad and it's just bleh. So the elves started wearing masks until it got so bad that Zalia's father was like, "No, I'm gonna stay and handle it. You and your mother. I'm gonna send you to the city. You got accepted into High Garden Academy anyway, so just it's safer there." And so Zalia got sent to the city, which isn't really much of a spoiler. They're probably gonna be pretty open about it in the series. So then for their design, I hated everything about the outfit, so I just changed it. I just kind of changed it all. I didn't really like the colors. Again, just I feel like all the colors for Time just went wayward. I don't know. It just feels like the person who was working on the color palette was like running on not sleep. You know that audio where it's like, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, suicidal thoughts, and an Oreo, and I'm ready to fight God or become him. That's what I feel like Zalia's color palette designer was doing because but the thing was they weren't ready to become God, so they ended up with this color palette. So yeah, I changed Zalia around, I gave them pointier ears, I gave them the horns that I think that they deserve. Um Honestly, I really like how their design came out. It's fun. I also did this little piece of art for them because I kind of love them. I've also done some Sage art with another character, but I can't reveal it because it's spoilers. So that'll come out when the time comes. But for now, that's it. That is all the character designs. I also technically have Slime Boy done, but he will be saved for the next episode where I will also be doing Snapdragon, Amaryllis, and bum 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 Caraway because Caraway's going to be an actual character and he's actually going to be part of the plot and he's not just going to be really bad ham-fisted representation. Like I'm still going to have him be trans, but I'm just give him a personality, please. I'm begging. So yeah, hope you'll stick around for that one. So go ahead and give me a like and subscribe if you want, and have a fantastic day. That's all. Bye bye. See you later.